less, but what it was a really nice group of people. And maybe part of it is shows that have lasted a long time. I find that usually they build up more and more of that family kind of vibe, and they're much cooler and friendlier, and they've kind of gotten rid of anyone that isn't, you know, because you don't want to work with those people day in and day out. So, yeah, it was a really, really nice group of people.
All right, thank you. All right, between playing like someone that has helped the boys and then kind of gone against them and helped Crowley and helped yourself, where do you think really you stand in helping? Like, is it more helping yourself, do you think, and for, like your character, or is it really to a better goal or more something like that?
Well, it's interesting. I think, first of all, Meg would always say that it was just to help herself. I think she would never admit that it was anything else. There's certain kind of integrity she gets out of that, you know, and I think a belief in the world, like that's her part of the way she sees the world. So I think that's one aspect, but I also think that speech, there was a speech she kind of gave where she said, find a cause and get behind it, and I think that pretty much summed up the truth of it, which is that she, you know, in life we need a reason to be, a reason to get up in the morning and something to work for, and it almost, you know, for her, it almost doesn't matter what that is. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But I do think it seemed from her behavior that she probably does have feelings for Cass, but she wouldn't even know how to name them, you know? And she would be embarrassed too, so, yeah.
Hey, hi. Not only am I a huge Supernatural fan, but I'm also a huge Sons of Anarchy fan.
Oh, awesome.
So I have to ask, we all know the Supernatural guys are goofy and they like to play practical jokes. Did any of that happen when you were on the set of Sons of Anarchy? Were they just as goofy or even worse, maybe?
You know what? I didn't get a lot of goofiness, but they were super cool. They were really nice. And everyone went out of their way, because I wasn't working with everyone, but everyone went out of their way to introduce themselves, say, hey, you know, make me feel comfortable in it. I really respect and appreciate that. No practical jokes, but I have a feeling they have a lot of, like, I'm sure toward each other, there's a lot of goof. You can just tell there is a kind of boys vibe to it, and yeah.
Well, thank you.
Rachel, you mentioned earlier you were a classic film fan. What classic film role or act would you most like to be there to revisit, like in 1940s?
It's hard because there's so many things that I love that have been done, but I wouldn't want to necessarily attempt to do that, you know, I kind of, when I don't know if you have the same thing, but I almost sometimes don't want to meet people I admire because I don't want the illusion to be ruined, you know, and sorry guys that you're moving. but it's true, there's something about that. So to me, when I love a film, I actually don't want to reenact it, you know, I want it to stay pristine in how it is. But I know, I'm just off the top of my head, and it's a slightly more recent, older film, but one of the best written films, and it was originally a play, I think was Lion in Winter. And I don't, the original, with Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole. And I thought that it was still where film, I don't know, the film directing style wasn't my favorite, so that's one that I'd love to see done again, because I thought the screenplay was impeccable and the dialogue was impeccable. And then the recent, I think they redid it and it was not good.
Hi, how are you? Good. How are you? This is kind of a weird question. Your character, Meg, it's one of the few that has actually been played by someone else on the show who's still there during my life.
Right.
So when you first got on there, did he try to give you pointers or anything?
No, he did not, which is very kind of him.
That's why he let you do it on your own way.
He let me do my own thing. So, but yeah, but it is funny to be working with someone who's played the same character. He probably could have and should have given me more.
Thank you.
Hello. I think the character of Meg is very physical, a lot of fighting, physical interaction.
Yeah.
Had previous training in that kind of fighting, and when you were on set, how much choreography did you have to go through to get those physical parts down?
That's a great question. Yes, I love doing like my own stunts. And I'd done a film called Hyde, among other things. And I worked with this awesome actor, Christian Kane, which, yeah. And he actually does a lot of his own stunts. So we worked together and he taught me a lot of what he knows, which is, you know, a wealth of info. He's really capable in that area. And so I really enjoy doing stunt work, and then Lou Bolo, who does all the stunts in Supernatural, is just amazing and so much fun to work with. So we had a blast working together. So, yeah.